We're here today with head coach of St Kilda's AFLW team, Peter Searle. Thank you so much for joining us today for the launch of Football for Fun. What do you think of the program so far?
Oh, it's a fantastic, idea to have footy for fun at this time of year. I mean, in COVID, it was sad being at home watching kids being cooped up and not being able to, enjoy physical activity with their peers. I mean, many kids have gotten out individually or with their families, but to get out and run around with their peers with a smile on their face and learn again how to engage positively with each other in a team sense is so important.
Perfect. And obviously the AFL and AFLW seasons have been impacted by the pandemic. What has been your experience in the St Kilda Women's Program been like with the COVID-19 pandemic?
Yeah, it was a difficult time in terms of, I guess, the abrupt ending to the season, not knowing, that we weren't going to play the last two games. We just finished on a high against Richmond and were called into the change rooms and virtually told that, look, your season's over and you need to, clean your lockers and leave. So to work so hard to, create a place where, the girls felt home and it was a place of connection and belonging and then to be told that we can't come back to the club for who knows when, it was really, really difficult and it hurt. But, like everyone, we all adapted and found ways to connect with different things on Zoom. But, as soon as we were able to get back to some sort of training in October, just the relief and the feeling to be amongst your teammates it's so important. I mean, it's human nature to want to connect and it's human nature to want to do the things that you love and do things that you do well. So to be able to be back and have that opportunity again just means so much, for the physical, mental and emotional side of people.
What was the reaction from the girls when they were told about the finish off of the season?
Look, I think it was just hard to take in. No one really knew what that meant or how it would feel or, at time it felt really significant. But then, the more significant thing was, I guess, the lockdowns and the loss of jobs and all those things. So in that respect, it kind of felt a little bit like, well, that's smaller to the bigger picture of what's going on in society, in the world, but it still doesn't take away from the fact that, you can't do what you love doing and, you grieve that process. And, it's taken some time, but, it's also been an opportunity for girls, to get their bodies right and to potentially work one-on-one or with family members in their skill development. So where there's every lock, where there's every, I guess, barrier, there's also opportunities, and I feel that our girls have taken those opportunities. They've come back in really good shape, all their skill level. That you can see the ones that have really worked on their kicking and even to come back with restrictions has been quite handy. It's forced you as a coach to look at things differently and coach differently, and I think to some degree it's been quite beneficial.
Yeah, awesome. And so obviously now you're back training, which is amazing. So what do you think is the importance of sport to mental health?
The importance of sport to mental health is enormous. It's obviously about, you've got to be able to be physical, to understand your body, to know your body, to respect your body, but also in the ability to communicate with others. I've over the lockdown and coming back to the workforce, I've actually done some teaching in primary school and, some phys ed teaching and, it's all just been focused around playing games and getting them to learn how to communicate and encourage and support each other in a positive manner again, because they haven't had that for a while and, there's been a lot of build-up of energy, but how do you channel that energy in the right way, in a supporting way for each other? So, I just think it's been important. We know the importance of it prior to COVID, but to have kids, I guess, miss out on that development in all those different areas for 6 months, it's... And the fact that Monash University and the SMJFL have come together and created this day, or not the day, but the four weeks of the program to bring footy back, and allow kids to be reconnected to their clubs and reconnected to each other is so important, because it gives them the confidence then to go and play footy the next season and keeps them coming back for the next season.
Also, we're so excited that you're going to be the SMJFL Coaching Ambassador for a second year in 2021. So what does that role mean to you?
Yeah, look, I think one thing that I've gained a lot out of footy is footy's done a lot for me. And so to be able to be the coaching ambassador of the SMJFL means I can give back to something that's given me so much. And when I say so much, it's given me a platform to grow. It's given me a platform to support my family, and it's given me a platform to shine in areas that, you know, that I've been lucky enough to have some skill to do. So to be able to, I guess, to be able to give back and hopefully, you know, connect with other coaches so they have the same opportunities to me, it means a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. And so we have over 1,000 coaches, but only around 30 are female. So what would you say to mums and young women who might have been interested in coaching but haven't taken that first step yet?
Yeah, look, I can understand why a lot of women don't coach, and it's difficult, not so much the coaching itself, but, you know, everything else that you've got to do, you know, the caring, the running of the house, your job, and then to add another thing on top of that. There's only so much you can potentially fit into time. So I can understand why they don't, but, you know, players need women in the game. Players need women coaching. Both male and female players need role models that, you know, and leaders that are leading the way for I guess, you know, societal change and interaction between male and females and what it should look like and where it needs to go. So, you know, society needs women coaching, but I think to enable that, clubs need to promote it, and clubs need to not just promote it, but they need to understand the barriers that reduce women from coaching and try and remove some of those barriers. And, you know, again, I guess Monash University and the SMJFL providing this, you know, footy for fun for free is understanding the situation in that, you know, there's some financial barriers now that COVID's existed, and now they've taken away those barriers, or that barrier, to enable participation for all. So it's just about thinking about, well, what is it that's preventing it and what can we do to help it along the way?
Yeah, absolutely. And what would be your top tip to someone who's scared to take that first step?
Well, you've always got to take the first step. Okay, I don't know. Like you can't be scared of not doing something. You know, because every time you do something, you grow. Every time you step outside your comfort zone, you learn, you grow, and it creates opportunities. And you know, and that's not to say it's not scary. It's not to say that you're not going to be vulnerable. You know, even every time I do something like this, you know, I've got butterflies in my stomach. You know, I'm not the most articulate person, so I'm stretching myself, but. You know, you've got to take those steps, because not just for yourself to grow, but so everyone else around you can grow, and in particular, you know, younger females can grow because they're learning from you.
Yeah, definitely. So thank you so much for your support and for coming to the launch of the program and for your leadership and inspiring women to take that first step. Thank you so much, Peter.
No problems. Thank you.
Thank you.